Meantime, another local company is getting on board with the Canada Winter Games. It's a business that is very familiar with major sporting events like this, but with less than a year from the Games, they're not the only ones getting prepared.
Britco landed on the Prince George landscape about a year ago and is now becoming a sponsor of the Canada Winter Games. The company will build about 60 modular buildings for the Games. Britco is familiar with the task, having done the same for the 2010 Vancouver Olympics.
It's similar in one regard. It's much smaller, of course, in scale. During the Vancouver Games, we provided about 800 temporary buildings. In this particular case, we're providing 60. You know, it's a small. The Vancouver Games, of course, was probably the biggest thing that'll ever happen in Vancouver. But you know, that being said, the logistics and everything that goes with it are very similar. The use of the buildings are being used for the same purpose that they were down in the Olympics.
Right next door, sponsors were going through some of the legacy opportunities there will be for businesses. Initiatives Prince George is the Games business engagement partner, and as such, will begin preparing those businesses that are not necessarily sponsors per se, but want to ride the wave of the Games.
We're going to use that opportunity to outline how, what, and when businesses can supply and serve the Canada Winter Games. So there's more than $15 million worth of goods that need to be supplied and served to the Canada Winter Games, and we're working with the Prince George business community to make sure they understand how, what, and when that they can supply and service the Canada Winter Games. So that's the first workshop, specifically around procurement.
That's just the first phase of helping local businesses take advantage. There will be a second related program to help small business prepare for the full potential.
We're also going to be outlining our business engagement strategy, which has a lot to do with business readiness. So what does it mean for a small business that when 15,000 people are arriving in Prince George? What about inventory? What about staffing, hours of operation? There's a whole lot of customer service training. There's a whole lot of opportunities.
Rounding out the latest Games sponsors' commitment is a legacy. 4 of the facilities built for the Games will be staying in the region to be used as libraries for First Nations.
Literacy is a challenge in many remote communities, in particular, unfortunately, in Aboriginal communities. And we felt this is an opportunity to provide something that's much needed in those communities. They'll be outfitted with books, they'll have shelving and desks and little computer labs and everything that you need to have a young little one enjoy a library and learn.
A few of the Britco buildings are already complete and will begin arriving at different locations later this year. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.